This is Vic from Trading Academy and Investments. And today I wanted to go ahead and take this opportunity to make a quick video on SKYT Technologies. Uh, if you have been following me for quite some time, you already know that the ideas that I typically share are from companies that I currently have money invested in or will be investing in, right, hopefully in the near future, right? So, I'm going to go ahead and give you not so much of the fundamental analysis typically because fundamental wise, yes, I look at their current reports, especially SkyWater Technologies. They just released their earnings report and not too great, but also not too bad. And now I'll explain why. So Skywater went IPO'd 3 years, about 3 years ago, right? And so any company right now in the actual stock market that IPO'd about 3 years ago, is still considered a fairly new company, considering the fact that we had COVID, right? 2021 or late 2021, early 22. Uh, I think as far as company valuations, the companies are way off, right? And so the market is still kind of balancing itself out. And so that's going to take some time. And for those of you who are like, okay, are looking at same thing, right? So another company I heavily invested in was, look, Hims and Hers, company IPO 2019, went all the way up $25 and then just boom, right? COVID hit and then kind of balanced itself out. And look where the market is at right now. Um, Again, these are companies that have IPO'd within the last 3 years. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and give you my a little bit of not so much fundamentals, but technical analysis. Fundamental wise, like I said, the company's still fairly new. Earnings not so great, but not so bad for I'd say a company who's new into the stock market. And so before we go into the technical analysis, I want to go ahead and share something with you guys. So, for those of you who kind of, okay, what is his method of trading, right? So, technical analysis, I typically look for your supply and demand zones, right? And so, for an uptrend, I'm looking for potential pivot points, right? And so, um, zone one, and of course, zone two for me, and I'll explain a little bit further. When the market creates a new high, if you're looking into getting into the market where it's just continuing to make new highs and new lows, or higher highs, higher lows in that case, right? So I'm looking for pivots, and pivot number one, right, which is the top of the previous zone, previous high, or the bottom. If the market comes all the way down here, that doesn't technically mean that that's it. We have a potential reversal. Now, this is still an uptrend, right? And so this is the best price if you're looking to get in, right? For a buy, for you to get in here and hopefully the market continue to go higher towards your direction. Now, uh, obviously that doesn't always happen, and I'll go and tell you specifically how I'm set in Skywater Technologies currently right now. And so yes, I'm typically looking for your supply and demand zones, right? How the market moves, and your discounted areas. And so for Skywater Technologies right here, I typically start monthly time frame. So let me show you what I've seen right now. So you got your low, high, low, high, low, right? We didn't have a close of below that area. Now, this is the monthly time frame. This candle is still running, right? This does not mean we're on a downtrend. Now, someone would say, well, you got to go down to the weekly in order for you to get a better look at the zones, right? But with the same concept, like with the same idea that I just showed you up there, as far as what I'm looking at for you, those supply and demand zones. If we were to keep it on the monthly time frame, I already know without me even having to go to the weekly that my zone number one is going to be right here. And let me go ahead and turn this off because it keeps wiggling all around, right? And so I got zone number one here, And then zone number two is going to be this candle right here. It could be this range, this entire range right here, which is why I have that red box or orange box is based off the weekly time frame. And so um, now that you see that, right, this candle's running. So let's go down to the weekly. Guys, this price right here, 778, this is my entry. I am currently in this trade right now. This is my entry price, and I'm okay with that. And the reason, let me tell you why. The reason behind it is, okay, so you see these two green candles right here, these are potential pivot areas. And if the market is going to bounce, remember, off of zone one, on the weekly time frame, you get your first green candle here, not on the monthly. There is no green candle down here, right? You won't be able to see that. But I know that is zone number one for me, right? And for those of you who trade like patterns, it'd be like, oh, there's a head and shoulders here. I don't do patterns, guys. They'd be like, well, there's a breakout here. Um, if it works for you, great. If not, then I mean, just hear me out, right? So we got a pivot here, right? Market starts pulls back up. The market moves in waves. And so we may potentially see this zone get tested. We may potentially see this zone get tested. Again, the red box is the monthly and the orange box is the weekly. So you have to kind of pick, right? When we talk about the stock market, the forex market, anything, the most important thing is entry, right? And so for those of you who are gap traders, um, if you if you take your trades based off gaps, you might miss some trades, right? And so I was okay with getting here around this area, even though the market may potentially come and test on the monthly time frame, right? This red box here, I'd be okay with that. But my overall goal, my short-term goal here would be around $17, right? And you got some investors who've actually set their targets kind of around 12, right? Because of this area right here, this area right here, and this area right here. So there's so many like potential pivot areas going upward. But nonetheless, I honestly think that Skywater Technology will eventually reach its $32 and even potentially even higher, right? This is one thing this is probably for you gap traders out there. This is something you rarely see. Um, but look at this big gap, right? When you go back to when the market IPO, typically when you see big gaps like this, the market will tend to come back and fill these. Um, and so far, it's done it, from 2021, right here. So the July, August, um, it's filled those gaps. And then you have this big gap. This one's probably the biggest of all, right? You have this big gap here. That's COVID. And we haven't filled that, right? And so being down here is a very good spot to be at if I see this market eventually reaching the $32, even like the bottom of that candle right there, which is 32 and some change. Okay. But again, I'm not really a gap trader. I just look at how the market moves. I use some trend lines, although I don't focus too much, or I don't base my trades off of trend lines. And so right now, again, I expect Skywater just off of this right here, that there may be a potential bounce off, zone two. This would be zone two. Remember, zone one is here, zone two is down here. I could see a potential bounce and then hopefully start moving higher. This could also mean, like I said, not too much into trend lines, but there could be, oh, right here. Let me go ahead. And I also like to do price. I don't like to do wicks, right? But I like to do typically price, because if you change this into the line chart, for those of you who trade line charts, obviously if you go based off wicks, then it would show as if it never reached that area, right? But again, so Skywater, I see a lot of really good movement on Skywater, and I honestly I expect volatility to kind of pick up eventually. Big drop here from earnings report. Uh, why do I get this entry all the way down here? I kind of really expected not that great uh, of earnings for Skywater. If we go down to the daily time frame, right? Again, gaps. I really don't care too much for this, but when I kind of saw this happening, you kind of put like trend lines here and whatnot. I was like, this doesn't look good. And then all of a sudden we get this huge drop, and that was the time to get in, right? That's the time to get in. And again, so Skywater Technologies, guys, this is a method, at least for the technical analysis aspect. This is a method that has worked with me uh, for many years. I've been trading for over about 7 years now, actually. And so, if you look at, let's say, another company that I've, invested in is Delta Airlines. Guys, look at this. I had this charted out for so long, and here, look, we like Delta Airlines at 53, $5 away. See, $4 away from Target. And I've made some pretty good returns on Delta Airlines for, I don't know, I mean, I can even show you my ideas from the time I actually um, kind of made my prediction on Delta Airlines. As how far back did we go? Let me see if I can find it real quick. United Airlines, right? Look at United Airlines. Delta Airlines, this is back in 2021. And United Airlines, we can go back to United Airlines and I mean, let's see where it's at right now. United Airlines, it's at a good point where, here we go. Look at the target that I have for United Airlines, $90. So, um, obviously here's a little golden nugget right there, right? If you're looking for a company to invest in, like I said, do your due diligence and do your homework. This is for uh, educational slash entertainment purposes, but I personally, like I said, I don't have any money invested in United Airlines, but uh, I did invest in Delta, and considering where Delta Airlines is right now, United Airlines would be a safer bet. And actually, it is farther away from Target, so would be kind of a good investment in my opinion. Well, so in regards to Skywater Technology, guys, this is pretty much it. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this analysis. Again, be patient, but I think $32 is fairly, doable. And I think honestly, within the next one, maybe 2, 3 years, I honestly think Skywater will be reach the $32 mark. Um, if you like the video, like and subscribe. Leave your comments below. If you want any other companies for me to look at, any company here on the right hand side is companies that I am currently invested in or I'm looking to actually invest in the near future. So, again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a blessed day, and until next time.